I already filmed and edited the first version of this video, but I felt like it wasn't good enough, so I'm doing the whole thing again. Yay. First of all, to those of you who don't follow me on any other social media where I've already come out, hi, I'm Genderfluid. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but there's so much to talk about that I didn't know where to start. So I decided to ask for questions on my Instagram. I got one through Saraha, which is a website where you can send anonymous messages to someone. Yeah, that question was enough to make a whole video about, so that's what I'm doing now. So here's the question, or actually two questions. Some questions / thoughts about the gender fluid thing. What made you start questioning? Do you feel like you need or want to use different pronouns, or is it more of an internal thing? The first question is the hardest to answer, so I'll start with the second one. I use both she, her, and they, them pronouns. I like they, them because they stress the fact that I'm non-binary, but I'm also still comfortable with she, her. So feel free to use either or change them up. I would actually really like that. I want to add that pronouns don't define gender. You can't tell someone's gender from their pronouns. A non-binary person using she, her is no less non-binary than one who uses they, them, or he, him, or she, her, or any other pronoun. That's just the pronoun they happen to be comfortable with, and it doesn't say anything about what their gender is. Whatever the case, you should just respect someone's pronouns and respect their gender. Back to the first question, what made you start questioning? It's hard to answer because in a way, I've pretty much always been questioning my gender. I just didn't have the words to describe what I was questioning. As a kid, I prided myself in being a tomboy, a boyish girl, not like other girls, and later I thought that was just internalized misogyny, which it was in part, but, you know, it also had to do with my gender, because I was not like other girls, because I wasn't a girl. And it took a while for me to realize that. When I first learned about trans people, it was a documentary that explained being transgender in all the wrong ways. I must have been 10 or something. I remember thinking, could that be me? But of course, the documentary didn't mention genders outside the binary, and it said trans people were born in the wrong body. So as I was happy with my body, and probably not a boy, I had to be a regular cis girl. So I buried that shit. Then I got a Tumblr. I was 19, pretty late to the party, I guess. And I kind of randomly stumbled upon someone who was agender. I just followed them because I liked their art. But when they talked about their experiences as an agender person, those felt weirdly relatable. Only I didn't think I was not a girl at all, just like not 100%. So I buried it again. This time it wasn't so easy to forget about though, because I was learning about non-binary people and the fact that there are more than two genders and there are more non-binary genders than just a gender. I managed to keep my doubts in the background for about 2 or 3 years because I was figuring out my sexuality as well. So once I had figured out I was asexual, I kind of freed up the space to really figure out my gender. I identified as a demigirl for a while, and well, I didn't end up keeping that label It helped me accept my non-binary self and be more comfortable with not being a girl and not presenting as a girl, and understanding why sometimes looking girly made me feel really, really bad about myself. I started using she and they. I just put that in my bio on Instagram and Twitter. And, that felt a little weird at first, but then it started feeling really right. And yeah, finally, all of that just helped me realize I am gender fluid. So I guess some of you want me to explain what that means. First of all, I'll put links in the description to all kinds of fun informational posts about all the terms I mentioned, like non-binary, demigirl, and gender fluid. So you don't even have to Google them yourself. But you totally could have. Then I'm going to tell you what being gender fluid means for me, because it's not the same for every gender fluid person, and I can only speak for myself. So it's not going to be the definition of gender fluid, just kind of what it means for me. You've probably guessed, gender fluid means that your gender is fluid. It changes. For me personally, I guess I am male, female, and agender, all in different intensities. So it's not like one day I'm a woman and the other day I'm a man, which might be what gender fluid sounds like when you first hear about it. But it's more like all of those genders are there, not always, but in varying intensities. If that sounds complicated and abstract, well, explaining gender is hard. A lot harder than just being who I am, aka a gender fluid person. I hope that answers those questions. If you have any other questions or comments, well, that's what the comment section is for. You can also reach me through Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. I'll put the links to all of that in the description as usual. If you're questioning your gender yourself and you'd like someone to talk to, you can always DM me on Instagram or Twitter, whatever you want. I didn't really have anyone to ask these kinds of questions to. And I think that if I had, I might have figured it all out a lot sooner. Or at least I would have felt more valid while I was questioning. Even if someone just pointed me in the right direction, like, here are some links about gender you can check out, it sounds like gender fluid might be what you're looking for. Something simple like that would have made a huge difference. And I just want to say, no matter how long you've been questioning, or how long you will be questioning, you are amazing and you are valid. Take as long as you need, try out all the labels you want, and I'm rooting for you. Lastly, I just want to mention my Patreon, because this video took a lot of work and energy. And that's what the whole Patreon thing is for. If you like this and or learn something from it, it would really mean a lot to me if you could check it out. As a patron, you can get early access to my videos and blog posts, a monthly newsletter in which I tell you what I'm planning to do on this channel and my blog and some other things, and other bonus content for as little as $1 a month. I also have a Ko-fi where you can tip me the equivalent of a cup of coffee, if that's more your thing. If you're not into that, or you don't have the means right now, just liking and sharing this video already goes a long way. And subscribe to my channel if you want more. Thanks for watching and have a great day.